And I'm just glad that I made the choice that I made at the time on an impulse, on an emotional response that turned out all right. Because the perfect example I can give you about that is that if it was up to me, there would have never been a house party movie. Mm-hmm. Because when it came across the table for Kid and I to do, I voted against it. Mm-hmm. But I was outvoted by Herbie and Kid, and we always had this rule amongst us that majority rules. Right. And they outvoted me. So it just goes to show you how smart I was, because I didn't want to do it because I thought we were making more money at the time doing, the concerts with the hit records we were dealing with. But if they would have listened to me, mm-hmm. or if I would have outvoted them, mm-hmm. we would have probably been played on the one-hit wonder shows. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though we have more than one hit. Mm-hmm. But with all that being said is that that's why I could never give myself any credit for what we did. If I had to give a human being credit, I'd have to give it to Herbie and Kid and mm-hmm. to the Hudlin brothers who picked us and to the people who helped play us our tunes, because I was always so one-dimensional in my thinking right. and in my scope and in my focus.
Mm-hmm. And that was going to segue to my next question, like, how did you guys stumble upon House Party? Because I had heard that it was originally supposed to have been for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, it was, but the Hudlin brothers was the ones who created it, and they always had Kid and I in mind. It was New Line Cinema that wanted to do it with Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince because of their record success at that time, but what happened was they had a little legal problem going on where they couldn't come together, and we kind of got in there by process of elimination.
Okay, and did you guys know that, making that movie, that it was going to be like a hip-hop classic?
No. Nope. And I still, to this day, haven't really grasped, mm-hmm. what it's become. But I had no idea it was ever going to be received and has been established the way it has been.
Because honestly, House Party is like one of my favorite hip-hop movies, because for a hip-hop class last semester, I wrote a movie review about it, and I was like, it gave the mainstream audience a sense of what hip-hop was like at the time when it was crossing over, and it was fun, and you had the brothers getting the infamous kid fade, and I can remember when I was younger sitting at the barbershop, getting up early in the morning and having to be out by like 10 or 11 before everybody with the kid fade started coming, because it'll take them like 2+ hours to get that fade straight.
Right.
And the dances. Who out there was it to come up with the kick step routine?
We had dancers that used to dance with us, but at the time we weren't making enough money to take them out on the road. So what ended up happening was we had several dancers behind us, because Kid and I, we always felt the dancers weren't really getting their props. So we had like literally almost 3 to 4 different crews. Like if you ever saw the music video Getting Funky, in that music video where we're wearing the 2 hype shirts, is where we had a chance to expose all the dancers that we always would try and have come out with us. But whenever we went on the road, we weren't able to afford for their airline and hotel stay. So what they did was they taught us some of the key moves that would be simple to do and still be able to rap at the same time without us losing our breath. And those were some of the moves.
Right. And how did it feel for you by you being a part of the first wave of the hip-hop generation at that moment when Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince received the first ever rap Grammy, but not televised? How did it feel that the Grammys were like, okay, we sort of want to recognize this music, but we're ashamed of it and we're not going to televise it?
Well, we were with our sisters at that time, Salt and Pepper, and they were nominated as well. And what we did is we all did a boycott. We were all extremely close at that time ourselves. Salt and Pepper, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, Public Enemy, and we all took a stand and we refused to go to the show to boycott the fact that they wouldn't televise the awards. We felt that, somewhere along the line they were going to have to respect and acknowledge the fact that we were a force in the retail community as far as music was concerned.
Right. And as far as I'm concerned, you guys like a franchise, of course, with the 3 House Party movies, the cartoon, the Sprite commercials, Burger King commercial. What was the turning point for you where it was like, okay, I need to get out of this and go to like the ministry?
Well, it wasn't that black and white. I mean, basically after a while, when you have experienced everything that you wanted to experience and thought that it was going to be fulfilling and be your savior, and come to find out that it was all, basically a facade and an illusion, you know, you can be in a place where things could get very scary for you, so much to the point for me where I was ready to, like, end my life. And what ended up happening was just through some spiritual series of events where God was just proving himself true and showing me that he existed and there was more to him than, you know, this place called Hollywood or anything that you would choose, anything you would choose over him, you know, where I just decided where it's like, you know what, I need and I want to go in that direction.
Right. What was one of your most memorable performances with Kid and Play?
There's too many to pin it down to just one. I mean, you know, we have been very fortunate. We've been very blessed. And still to this day, I can't really think of anyone who is, you know, people do it, but it's nothing like the first time. After that, it's like repetitive. Okay, they did it too, but it's nothing like the first. And it's like so many things that I can remember that that I could choose from. It wouldn't be fair to just call one. You know, I think for me, I was a big Earth, Wind & Fire fan. The first time that I met the members of Earth, Wind & Fire under the very unique way that I met them, that was something that was very memorable. Hanging out with Eddie Murphy, doing a music video movie for Michael Jordan. I mean, the list just goes on. It's just so many things that just went on. It just never stopped. It was just like this roller coaster ride of just phenomenal situations and events that was like, just when you thought it would stop, it would always be something new, something first, something right. Whatever, you know.
Because I remember, too, like, my aunt, she collects old, like, tapes and videos, so video vibrations, and back in the day, it had, on one of the tapes, your guys' video for Knyte, which I think the inspiration came about from the whole, like, 3 Men and a Baby video, like, where the baby is left on the front steps.
Yeah, that was one of them I wasn't that crazy about. We wasn't in the best of condition then, and we were kind of really just drained and burnt out from a lot of touring and just overdoing it. But yeah, I think that's I think that was, you know, the inspiration for that one. You know, we kind of put that together, you know, as quick as we could, because I remember we weren't even ready and prepped for the new dances we wanted to do. So that's why we just turned it into us just rehearsing and messing up, only because we couldn't do the dances at that time.
Right. And by, like, the way hip-hop is now, how do you see it from where it was, like, from the beginning up to the point now where it's, like, a big cash cow for the music industry?
Well, it was a cash cow then. I mean, you know, now it's just more blatant. You know, it's cool. I mean, you know, right now I'm even more excited because, you know, God saves the best for last, and what I'm involved with now is just going to blow the socks off of a lot of people is, you know, the whole gospel, Christian, holy hip-hop community. And people are going to be really blown away in regards to just how advanced and innovative it is in regards to the beats, in regards to the, you know, the gift of spitting on the mic and all of that kind of good stuff. So it's like, you know, everything, the stage is being set for, you know, him saving the best for last, you know.
Right. Now I was going to segue to the next question. Like, what have you been up to as of late